ever been made fun of, and particularly as a child, you might relate to this video and what I have to share today. I have a cleft palate and a cleft lip, and the cleft palate creates challenges with my speaking voice. And as a child, I was really insecure about it, and I kept to myself. I was really quiet and shy, and did not want to be the center of attention, ever. And so when I reflect back on my childhood and wonder, I think about the times when I was made fun of, and there's one in particular that seems to always pop into my mind first. And so that one, as I started going down this healing journey, I realized I really need to dig into that a little bit more to figure out what is going on. Like, why is that one experience the one that's coming up so often? And the experience was, I was in the 5th grade, and we were in class, and we were all doing something. The class was quiet. We were working on whatever we had to work on. And I had tubes in my ears at the time. A lot of people with cleft palate often have ear problems, and so I had tubes to help the drainage come out so I wouldn't get ear infections. And so on this particular day, I wasn't, I didn't have a cotton ball in my ear. Sometimes I would to keep the drainage from coming out. But this time I didn't, and all of a sudden I had like a gush of drainage that was coming out of my ear. So I ran into the front of the class to grab a Kleenex. And I put it in my ear to catch the drainage. And suddenly, another boy in the classroom, his name was Kyle, I remember him, and he got up and said, "Oh, look, she's putting toilet paper in her ear." And granted, it wasn't like the most horrible thing to say, but I was mortified. I was absolutely mortified. I just stood there. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. Everyone was looking at me, including the teacher, and I just stood there. And then I eventually just went back to my desk and sat down. And I just kind of tucked my head in my hand. And I don't know why, like for the longest time I didn't realize like why that impacted me so much, until I started reflecting on it and journaling about it. And I decided or realized that I had a fear of judgment. I didn't want to be judged. Even now, it's really hard for me to get up and speak, even doing this live video, because I have a deep-seated fear of being judged. And for those that are familiar with me and who I am, I am intuitive, I'm psychic, and I am being encouraged and guided to use my voice to get out of my comfort zone, which is why I'm doing this video right now. But it really wasn't until I started doing that inner work, the reflecting, that I realized that I had this fear of judgment. And then I started thinking, what would I do today? How would I respond today? And I thought, well, I probably would have said, well, what would you want me to do? My ear is draining. Do you want me to just let it drip out of my ear? That doesn't make any sense. And then my other insecurity came to mind, and I thought, then he'll make fun of me again, and then I would be like, I can't do anything right. I have this belief that I can't do anything right. And so then I had to really work on that limiting belief as well. And so, my point, I think, is doing the inner work, it really helps you realize where you're healing, where you have healing to do. And now, I still think about it, but even for this video, I had to refresh my memory about what he said because I journaled about it. And so that tells me that the healing work I'm doing is working because I don't have that charge anymore. I forgot what he said even. And so it's working. So if you have a similar experience, try journaling about it and reflecting what bothers you about it and try to start digging down into it. Another thing that I did that I found really helpful, I dabble in poetry. I'm a creative person, and I wrote a little poem. And when you are creative, it helps you release or unblock your throat chakra, and it helps you express, right? And so I wrote a poem, and that was really helpful too. And it's a short poem. I want to share it with you because I think it could be helpful to see how such a little thing can be so powerful. Because it really did help me. So here's my simple little poem. To the boy who made fun of me in our fifth, I'm sorry, let me start over. To the boy who made fun of me for putting toilet paper in my ear. I remember who you are from our fifth grade year. What you may not know is that your words hurt me to my core. I didn't know what to say, so I did what I did before. I stayed quiet and hoped I'd be ignored. I want you to know your words still hurt me to this day. They stuck with me like fingerprints stick to clay. But I now know it's time to let it go, for it's only hurting me, and I'd rather let it be. I'm creating a new mold so that I can be set free. So something so simple can be so powerful. So if you have a Kyle in your life, then I hope that you can dig deeper and release that the fear, identify and just start healing that fear and whatever it is that you need to heal. That's what I have for you today. Until next time, many blessings.